Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage, lived a little old woman and a little old man. They didn't have any children of their own. So one day, the little old woman had a wonderful idea. She decided to bake a gingerbread man to keep them company. She mixed the flour, sugar, and ginger, rolled out the dough, and carefully cut out the shape of a little man. She gave him 2 shiny currants for eyes, a cherry for a nose, and a row of candies for his buttons. Then, she popped him into the oven to bake. The smell of warm gingerbread filled the cottage. The little old woman watched the oven door, waiting eagerly. Suddenly, she heard a tiny voice from inside. "Let me out! Let me." Out! The little old woman was so surprised she almost dropped her oven mitts. She quickly opened the oven door, and out leaped the gingerbread man. He was perfectly baked, golden brown, and alive. He jumped off the baking tray, ran across the kitchen floor, and headed straight for the open door. The little old woman and the little old man cried out, "Stop, little gingerbread man, we want to eat you." But the gingerbread man just laughed and shouted back, "Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." And with that, he dashed out of the cottage and down the lane. As he ran, he passed a cow chewing grass in a field. "Stop, gingerbread man!" called the cow. "You look delicious." The gingerbread man just looked over his shoulder and chanted, "I've run away from a little old woman and a little old man, and I can run away from you. I can." The cow tried to chase him, but the gingerbread man was too fast. He just kept running, feeling very proud of himself. A little further down the road, he saw a horse swishing its tail in a meadow. "Nay, stop, gingerbread man," whinnied the horse. "I'd love a sweet treat." But the speedy gingerbread man didn't even slow down. He sang out, "I've run away from a little old woman, a little old man, and a cow, and I can run away from you. I can." The horse trotted after him, but the gingerbread man was already disappearing down the path. A tiny brown speck in the distance. He ran and he ran, past fields and farms, feeling quite unstoppable. Soon, he came across a group of farmers resting in a field. They saw the little cookie figure zooming by and called out, "Hey, stop, little fellow. We're hungry from a long day's work." The gingerbread man, feeling bolder than ever, turned his head and yelled, "I've run away from a little old woman, a little old man, a cow, and a horse, and I can run away from you. I can." The farmers jumped up and tried to catch him, but their boots were heavy, and the gingerbread man was light on his feet. He dodged them easily and continued on his way. The gingerbread man was having the time of his life. He felt like the fastest creature in the whole world. No one could catch him. As he rounded a bend in the road, he came to a wide, flowing river. He stopped right at the water's edge. "Oh no," he thought. "How will I get across? If I go in the water, I'll get soggy and fall apart." He looked around, worried for the first time on his journey. He could hear the sounds of his pursuers getting closer. The farmers, the horse, the cow, and the little old woman and man were all catching up. Just then, a sly fox appeared from behind a bush. "Hello there, little man," said the fox with a friendly smile. "You seem to be in a bit of trouble." The gingerbread man looked at the fox warily. "I need to cross the river, but I can't swim," he said. "The water will ruin me." The fox nodded thoughtfully. "I can help you with that," he offered. "Just hop onto my tail, and I will swim you across to the other side." The gingerbread man was hesitant. He'd run from everyone else, but the river was a real problem. The fox seemed helpful, and the sounds of the chase were getting louder. "All right," he said, and carefully jumped onto the tip of the fox's long bushy tail. The fox waded into the river and began to swim. The water started to rise, lapping at the fox's tail. "The water's getting higher," said the fox. "You'd better climb onto my back to stay dry." So, the gingerbread man scrambled up onto the fox's back. They were about halfway across the river when the fox spoke again. "The current is very strong here," he said smoothly. "The water is splashing my back. For your safety, you should probably move on to my shoulder." The trusting gingerbread man did as he was told. and moved from the fox's back to his shoulder. He could see the other side of the river getting closer and closer. He was almost safe. Just as they were nearing the riverbank, the fox said, "Oh dear, the water is so deep. It's almost up to my chin. You should climb onto my nose, and then you'll be perfectly safe and dry when we reach the shore." The gingerbread man thought this was a brilliant idea. He carefully crawled from the fox's shoulder, along his snout, and sat right on the end of his nose. He was so close to freedom. But as soon as they reached the riverbank, the fox didn't let him jump off. Instead, with a flick of his head, he tossed the gingerbread man high into the air. The gingerbread man tumbled over and over, completely surprised. The fox opened his mouth wide, and snap! He caught the gingerbread man in his jaws. "Oh dear!" the gingerbread man cried as he was being eaten. "I'm a quarter gone. A moment later, I'm half gone. Then, I'm 3/4 gone." And after that, the little gingerbread man was never heard from again. The sly fox licked his lips, enjoyed his tasty snack, and trotted off into the woods. And there was the end of the gingerbread man, who ran away from everyone but could outrun a clever fox. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more classic tales. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.